The wind clawed at my face as the cabin door yawned open. 30,000 feet. A roar of white noise swallowed my pulse. My daughter's small fingers clung to my shirt. She didn't cry. She just stared at me, confused, trusting. Behind us, my mother's voice sliced through the chaos. "Nobody will find you at 30,000 feet." My wife laughed. That sound still haunts me. Light, cruel, rehearsed. Fall like the trash you are. I remember her face framed by the cabin light, a mask of calm satisfaction. Then the shove. I twisted midair, holding my daughter against my chest. The sky was endless, the ground invisible. Everything went black before we hit it. When I woke in a hospital 6 hours later, my body was splintered, but my daughter was breathing beside me. The police were already there. Questions, accusations. They said they'd found something in the cockpit. They wouldn't tell me what. My wife wasn't there. Neither was my mother. I told them everything, the threats, the shove, the laugh. But all they heard was delusion and trauma. The in-laws were powerful, their lawyers already circling. I lay there for days, every breath a slow confession of helplessness. But then, something small. A nurse mentioned they'd recovered the flight's black box. She said quietly, "You'll want to hear it yourself." That night, I stared at the ceiling and tried to understand when it all began. The slow poisoning of love. Maybe it started when my wife's father handed me a business opportunity. Maybe when she began sleeping in the guest room for space. Maybe when she started locking her phone at night. Or maybe it was always there, waiting for altitude. I requested the recording, pretending it was for closure. The officer hesitated, but eventually handed over a copy. "For your peace of mind," he said. Peace. What a useless word. I listened in the dark. The hum of engines, then voices. My wife, calm, controlled. She thinks it'll look like an accident. My mother's tone, detached. He won't survive. The insurance will clear you in months. Silence. Then laughter. Two women, bonded by greed and contempt. I stopped the tape. Sat in the dark until dawn. Not a tear. Not a sound. Just breathing. Steady. Surgical. The next day, I requested all flight communications, passenger lists, financial transfers from the company my wife managed. Quietly, methodically. It was easy. Betrayal leaves fingerprints, just not on skin. A $2.3 million transfer from my life insurance to her offshore account, signed by my mother, authorized by my wife. I almost smiled. They planned everything, but they forgot the sky doesn't bury secrets, it records them. The police called 3 days later. They'd finished processing the cockpit. When I arrived, the detective didn't speak. He just handed me a photo. Blood on the controls. A single gun on the floor. My father-in-law, the pilot, slumped forward. Dead. 2 bullet wounds. Internal conflict, the detective said quietly. We're still piecing it together. The mother and wife were on board when it happened. Both alive. I stared at the image. So that was the sound I'd heard before blacking out. A muted crack beneath the engines. I didn't feel relief, only clarity. They had killed their own, then tried to finish me. When they called later, my wife's trembling voice begging to talk, I agreed. Calm, detached. "Come to the hospital," I said. "I have something to show you." She entered with fake tears and expensive perfume. I waited until she sat, then pressed play. Her voice echoed through the sterile room. "He won't survive. The insurance will clear you in months." Her face drained of color. "Where did you—" I didn't answer, just slid a folder across the table. Bank statements, audio transcriptions, witness affidavits. "You wanted me gone," I said. "But you recorded everything for me instead." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. Her eyes darted to the officer standing by the door. He'd been there the whole time. She tried to stand, but her knees gave out. I watched her crumble like a portrait melting in slow fire. I didn't raise my voice, didn't curse, didn't touch her. Silence is a cleaner weapon. A week later, I signed the final statement. My daughter slept in the next room, safe, breathing softly, unscarred by the storm that made her an orphan. They asked if I wanted to attend the sentencing. I said no. Some things are better left behind the glass of memory, unbroken, distant. At 30,000 feet, the truth had already fallen with me. Only I survived the landing. And in survival, there's power. Because the moment she pushed me from that plane, she didn't know I'd already learned how to fly without her.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.